Drop it.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to discuss loops. Let's define what's a loop. A loop is used for executing a block of statements repeatedly until a particular condition is satisfied. In C++, we have the following types of loops. We have the for loop, while, and then the do-while loop. Here, we'll also be discussing how to use the break statement, continue, go to statement, and then the exit function. Now let's dive into the for loop example. I have on the screen an example for a for loop program. Now here we have the general syntax of a for loop. We start with the for statement followed by an open and close parenthesis. Then we need to supply the for loop with three arguments. First is initialization, second is condition, the third one is increment or decrement. Initialization means that this is the initial value of our variable. This is where our loop will start. So let's say, for example, in our initialization, we could say that, so since this is the initial value, we could say that, let's say we have a variable I is equals to 0, where 0 is the initial value for our variable I. Second, we have is the condition. For the condition part, if you recall in our definition, this is where the loop will continue to execute until a particular condition is met. The condition will determine how long will the loop will execute. Let's say we will have a loop, let's say, to display numbers that are variable less than 10, for example. So we could say I less than 10. So as long as the statement here is true, then we will continue to execute the block of statements or block of codes. Okay? Later, I'll show you the examples. Then the last one is increment and decrement. When we say increment, it means that we add 1 to the variable, while decrement means we decrease. In this part, you would often see, let's say, I++ or X++ or whatever variable with this one. Now, I++ and X++ is the same as I is equals to I plus 1. It means that we add 1 to the variable I. You would also see, let's say, I minus minus or X minus minus, meaning that we decrement. It's also the same as I is equals to I minus 1. Okay? Then we enclose it with an open and close curly brace here to indicate a block of code. Then here is we have the C++ statement. This will execute as long as the condition is true. Okay, to simplify how it works, I have this technique or flow of the program. So I'll mark it or numbered it. So this is 1. Then after 1, condition is 2. Okay, if the condition of 2 is true, then we jump to number 3. Then after executing number 3, you go to the increment-decrement section to reach the 4th step. After that, after we execute this line here, then we go back to number 2. And then as long as the condition is true, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. And then if the statement here is false, then we exit the loop. Okay? So let's now look at our example. Our program here allows us to display numbers from 1 to 10. So how do we display numbers from 1 to 10? We have the variable I, wherein I will be used for our loop. Okay? Then we set the initial value of I. Then we move here. We test. Is I less than or equal to 10? So if we validate, the number is I, which is equal to 1. So if we substitute it, is 1 less than or equal to 10? The answer is yes or true. Then we execute this particular statement. So what we're going to do is that we're going to display the value of I, which is 1, followed by a space here. Then after that, we go back to this section wherein I is equals to I plus 1. So what is I is equals to I plus 1? I, which is 1, I is equals to 1 plus 1. So I now becomes 2. Then after that, we go back again to this section wherein is I 2 less than or equal to 10? The answer is yes, true. Then we go back to this statement. Now, let's assume that the value is already 10. Okay? Then 10 plus 1, it will become 11. Is 11 less than or equal to 10? The answer is false. Then we exit the block of code here and continue with the rest of the program. Okay? So that's how easy the for loop is. Now take note of my pattern here. This is 1. Okay? Then we jump to number 2. If number 2 is true, then we jump to number 3. After number 3, we could go to number 4. Okay? Now this one here is another way to use or write the statement. We could also substitute this, but for the meantime, we'll use this one. We could also substitute this by specifying I plus plus. They are of the same value. Okay? So let's run our code here. And then let's look at the output. So here is the output of our program. So the program simply displays numbers from 1 to 10 where 1 is the initial value. We loop until 10. This one increments the value. This one here displays the content of our variable I, which is 1 up to 10. Okay? So this is our first example in using the for loop. Hope you like the video. Thank you for watching. Bye.